This is another episode of Untraditional Living. I know I told y'all that I was going to do two back to back, so I owed y'all one for last Thursday, but I ended up going to Toronto, so I was kind of like busy, so I didn't get a chance to do the back to back Thursday like I was supposed to. I thought the trip to Toronto was another date, but it turned out it was last week, so I ended up going to Toronto. So I apologize for the people that do watch this ahead of time if you was expecting the video last week. Now I did mention I was gonna do like a kind of like an update of medical stuff, so we'll just get right into that. I won't make it super duper long, but if you evaluate yourself, like from, it's kind of like how I know most people in school in gym class they showed you the video, the health video where the man started eating McDonald's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and he had to supersize it if he supersized it, and gradually that started taking toll of his health. It's kind of like that in a sense, like when you don't have access to shit like that started to take a toll on you. Your blood pressure can start messing up. You ain't getting the kind of like calcium and the stuff that you need from the shit that you eat. Because if you homeless, you based off eating based off of if you could lay change, if you getting shit out of the garbage. Cause so you really don't know if you're gonna get a chance to eat that day. And living out of a car is kind of different for me because at like I said, my job, I could cook shit and then I could save it for later to eat and stuff like that. But if it's other people who can't really do all that stuff, they based off, really they have to make like food that they need to eat. They got to bring like to racetrack to warm up and stuff. So it'd be like frozen shit most of the time that they can really warm up. So it's not really like a healthy diet that they eat. They can't really cook some shit up and try to make a balanced meal if they work at, like, even at certain restaurants. If I was to work at another restaurant from what I work at, ain't no guarantee that I'm gonna be able to do that shit either. Luckily I got an owner who really don't really care, so he let me cook like breakfast and all that different shit when I'm there. So he let me cook different stuff, so he really don't care. But if I was to work at some restaurants that I used to work at, you really wouldn't be able to do that. Like we would be able to like cook breakfast like I be doing for everybody or something like that, but as far as like cooking to try to make a different meal that's not what the restaurant serve, y'all know these motherfuckers wouldn't be even going for that. So he really do work with me for that. So, but otherwise though, as far as like having to sleep in the car, if I have to sleep like this, except for sit my seat back, your legs is really supposed to be elevated a certain amount of times a day. So that shit make my ankles swollen like a motherfucker. And my ankles swell, my feet swell. All that shit just go down to my legs because that shit ain't elevated. Like you go to sleep, you land in your bed, your shit is laying flat. So you actually elevate it instead of sitting up and your legs is still down, and you standing up all day, you sitting up all day, your legs is still down. So usually that's why I set my seat up in the back. I put all that shit down and I set it up so I'll be able to lay. But if I be having like the kids in the car, or if my family be having to put shit in the car and it's still shit that they ain't took out, so I gotta sit up like this, then that's the days that it do be messed up. As far as hygiene wise go, because I still try to brush my teeth as much as I can, which is really every time I go to work, and I just be like, fuck it, I'm about to brush my teeth at nighttime. So I usually don't have no problem with brushing my teeth, and I still have money to go buy the shit that I buy, versus most people who don't have money to even buy the shit. Then that shit start to mess up as well, because you really just got all that shit sitting in your teeth and everything, especially if it's like juice or candy or something like that overnight and it's all that sugar. Kind of like how they say with kids, they don't need to have all that juice because it's just sugar just sitting in their teeth. It'll be like that. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out what else. My back already was messed up. My hair was already falling out, but I don't really comb it as much. Sometimes I try to wash it. If I feel like it's super dirty and I have access to wash it, I still try to wash it, because that shit be like, no, I can't go, and then I still got to go to work. So like I said, with me, it's still a lot of stuff that I do that most homeless people wouldn't be able to do, especially since I got a job and my job got a bathroom. It's easier for me to like go find somewhere to wash up or do anything like that, have somewhere to park my car, versus somebody who really can't do that or doesn't have a job. So at nighttime, if Quick Trip or something or Walmart. Well, racetrack and Quick Trip is 24 hours, but if you got a manager or something that's tripping and they see you all the time and they don't see your car between shifts and stuff like that, then they'll probably be like, all right, you gotta go. So it just depends on where you at and what area you in. But like Atlanta, everything fucking closes. So you really, if you really homeless, you really can't get nowhere around Atlanta. Like it's not at nighttime anyway, unless you like sneaking into a neighborhood or some shit like that. But if you homeless in Atlanta, it's not really a lot of places you can go. You can try to find somewhere where it's free to park on the side of the street at the certain times. I know it's like that in certain places of Atlanta where you don't have to pay like after 10, between 10 and 6. You don't have to pay shit. So if you park your car there and then by 6 o'clock everything is open again, then you good to do that. But you got to really like know where to go, where to find your areas and all that stuff. And then if it's not by nothing, like Atlanta don't have no quick trips or no shit like that. Like a lot of places in Atlanta, it's like it's spread out. So depending on what part of Atlanta you go to. So for homeless people, your health really go down the drain. And even when I was telling y'all about how I have some people I know that end up having to go to a homeless shelter, even with them, they just say they feel like their health is fading. I don't see. I don't heard people tell them that they starting to look like crackheads because they losing weight and stuff like that, and all that stuff. So it's like a lot of stuff with your health that starts to fade when you like homeless. And even with the shelter, like I told y'all, they wasn't really feeding them adequate stuff, so they not getting the nutrition they need, so they losing the weight. It all sounds good and stress out. Like my sister was like, oh, to see, that's why I need to lose weight. When you stress out, I mean, that's why I need to stress. When you stress out, you lose all this weight and all this stuff. And I'm like, but who want to deal with that? Nobody wants to deal with the stress of having to know like what's going to come tomorrow, or not having to know what's going to come tomorrow and all of that. And even still, you got to want to help yourself too. And if you're not going to help yourself, then it's not going to get nowhere. But that's another topic. That's another day and another topic on that. But that's why I say I'm gonna start once I do get to where I'm going to, not to where I'm going, where I want to be, where I have extra money to, give out. Then I'm gonna start making like care packages. And when I'm riding around and you be seeing them homeless people on the street, I want to get them one so they'll be able to have like socks, a pair of underwear. But I don't know, the underwear stuff is tricky because you gotta really like be able to have like something organized and be like, oh, medium, here you go, that's a size medium or large. So if it's not organized, then you're not going to be able to do it like that. You'll just have to do simple stuff like toothbrush, soap, maybe a little pack of tissue, some hand sanitizer, and all that stuff. And then put like some change in, like $2-3 in there with it. If it's a woman, then you do like toiletries, tampon pads. Because I have seen a lady, she really just had to bleed through, and her husband wrapped her jacket around her because she didn't have any stuff to use as far as that. So it's a lot. And then like how people say people smell like pee and all that stuff. So it's a lot of stuff that you